Hi there, we're here at Sport Beach 2024. I'm Colin, Jeffery, co-founder and CCO of Wolfgang, and I'm joined by Julie Triolo, the SVP of Marketing and Research at Vevo. Welcome, Julie.
Thanks for having me, Colin.
All right, so we've been on quite a journey the last year, and it's funny to think that it actually all started right here at Sport Beach 2023.
Indeed it did. It was quite a relationship that started to unfold. I had just joined Vevo at the time and was just having conversations and some real inspiration sparked here on the beach, and so delighted that we're here today to talk about the campaign.
All right, so Vevo as a platform, give us a little background.
Yeah, absolutely. So for over a couple decades, we've been forging a path to meet consumers exactly where they are with culture-defining content spanning the entire globe. It's 24/7 music videos, 900,000 of them to choose from, obviously nostalgic ones, as well as new culture-defining music videos. And so we see half of the population of the US tuning into us almost every single day. And we've amassed about 35 billion views globally every single month. And so it is a platform for audiences of all ages, demographics, and I think what is the beauty of Vevo as well is just the representation that exists on the platform. So it's a beautiful place for brands and fans alike to come and tell their stories.
All right, so we've got a library of 900,000 videos.
Yes.
We get 35 billion views a month.
Yes.
Okay, amazing. Right. So we have this platform, it's exploding, it's doing well. Let's talk about when we met. Let's just talk about the journey, the objectives, the brief, the strategy behind the work that we've done with Watch More Music.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when we think about the human truth and the insight around music videos, so it's really this sight, sound, and motion creates emotion. And so when you think about music and words, married to melody, that creates community inherently. But when we take that one step further and we marry visuals to that music, that elevates the experience, and we actually see the way that artists intend their stories to unfold and fans lean in, and there's a music literacy that we all gain from seeing these visuals married to the music. So with that,
yep,
we wanted to create an identity, a mantra, if you will, for Vevo. We wanted to give it a voice and be able to embrace all audiences, like artists, consumers, viewers, even the employee base, and really create a rallying cry to take us to the next level. Vevo's namesake is actually video evolution, and so anchoring into some of that equity, we wanted to then bring it to the next level and really find something that was going to be powerful and meaningful for all of our audiences that touch Vevo.
Okay, good. So should we talk about the campaign?
Let's do it.
All right, so we ended up coming out of the brief, the objective, what we want to achieve, and Vevo really is it's the home of the music video, right? It's a destination. That's where you go to listen to and now watch music videos. So I think when we set out to how do we reposition Vevo as a platform, how do we get beyond just being a destination, we started to talk about it internally with the team. And we started to talk about this idea of music in its simplest form is auditory. But when you kind of go beyond that, it really can be multi-sensory, right? When you start to talk about adding a visual component to it, it becomes much more immersive, much more powerful, and you can tell deeper, more meaningful stories, right? If you think about just the beginning of time, even in primitive days, we would sing around fires, but then we added dance and we added performance and we told stories like that, and that's how stories in history was passed down from generation to generation. Then we had theater, and then obviously film, and now we have music videos, which really are a multi-sensory experience, highly immersive, and you can really tell an artist's full story. It can be kind of a truer story, a more complete story than just listening, right? So, in talking about it, we landed on this line, watch more music, and when we did land on it, it immediately resonated with me and the rest of the team, because it's a little jarring, right? When you say watch more music, you're like, hang on, I listen to music. Vevo actually allows you to watch more music. So the line's a little jarring, it's sticky, and it's super memorable. And it actually, in its simplest form, tells you exactly what Vevo does, right? So that's really how we got to the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really special call to action, in my opinion. I think it has great extension. We loved immediately how it lands. Power is in its simplicity, and I think, it's fun because you don't expect to watch music, you listen to music, and so that play on words was really kind of powerful, and as you said, has real staying power and stickiness. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about how the journey in getting to that expression and how you sort of thought about consumers and how it would land with them, as well as all of these other audiences that we're talking to, which is our brands, our advertisers, our artists, and all of them.
Yeah. So, the line, when we landed on the line, sometimes you stumble upon things and they just feel right.
Yeah.
And when we landed on Watch More Music, we said it's sticky, it's memorable. But we're like, okay, so if Watch More Music lives up top, music is it's made up of genres, right? So we're like, okay, watch more music, but when you come down one level, you can watch more any specific genre. So you could watch more soul, more funk, more rock, more hip hop, more rap. So suddenly you're going, okay, interesting. So now we're watching more rap, we're watching more classical, we're watching more pop. That's interesting because you can really delve into those stories, tell the stories behind the genre itself, behind artists, both emerging and established. So we're like, okay, great. So now we're telling stories around genres of music. Then we took it a step further. We're like, okay, but when you add the visual component to music, it's now entertainment because there's a visual to it, right? So we're like, if you think about it, and this got us really excited, if music videos fit firmly into film genres, right? You can have a romantic music video, you can have a sci-fi music video, you can have an action-packed music video, and a comedic music video. And that got really, really exciting to us. We're like, holy shit, now we're actually creating entertainment, right?
Yeah,
so the platform goes from being about just music to now Vevo is an entertainment platform where our fans can come and discover not only music, but entertainment, really delve into the genre, into the artists, right? And that was really, really powerful for us, right?
Yeah.
So we knew it would be a good platform. And if you think about it, there's romantic music videos. I just put down here Taylor Swift Love Story or Chris Isaac Wicked Game, right? Those are beautiful. They feel like film. They're entertainment. Those fit into the genre.
Absolutely.
Comedy, The Beastie Boys, Sabotage. You mentioned Lonely Island, I think, in your panel earlier yesterday. I'm on a boat. Funny, comedic.
Yeah.
So the list goes on. Thriller,
it touches all the emotions, right?
Exactly.
And it's so interesting too because you mentioned the entertainment, and Vevo really pops with pop culture. We saw the phenomenon of Barbie last year, and the views on that album on our platform spiked by 239%. When Super Bowl happens, Rihanna's library sees a spike of 348%. So it's just really like impressive how everything that in our ecosystem, in every category, sports, entertainment, music videos are there, and they're really powerful to see those stories unfold in combination with pop culture.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really stop, right? So I think, and this is when you have a big idea, because you go down from, okay, it makes sense. We come down, we drill down a layer, it's still and that's rich territory. You come down a layer, we into entertainment, and then to your point, we get into pop culture. We can get into fashion, right? When you talk Tyler, the Creator, and Igor, or you could talk Billie Eilish just brings fashion, or Beyonce, or A$AP Rocky, they bring this fashion to it, or meme culture.
Yeah.
With like Hotline Bling, or Rick Astley, just Rick Astley in general.
Yeah.
So
it has the power to transcend industries. I don't know if you've seen the Netflix series on the supermodels, but there's a moment in there where it talks about how high fashion actually kind of it got dimmed a bit from music videos because fashion was really centered around this hip hop phase and everything that those stars were wearing, or the grunge phase. And so it was this really interesting dynamic of how much music videos were actually influencing different categories.
Yeah, no, it's super interesting. So we've drilled down, and now we have a platform. It's early days.
Yeah.
We introduced it about 6 months ago, 8 months ago, whenever it was.
Yeah.
Well received, and now we kind of teed ourselves up to do some amazing things. We know that the platform works.
Absolutely.
And we look forward to doing tons of new and interesting creative work off of the platform.
Yeah.
Any key takeaways? Like, what do you want around the platform?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, Watch More Music in its simplicity has so much power. It immediately speaks to this is a destination where culture unfolds real time. You want to be there. Audiences flock to it. It creates community. The representation and diversity that's endemic to the platform is super powerful. And then the fanhoods. It's going beyond the music and the ability to create a movement. And so we encourage everyone to just watch more music.
Watch more music, jump in, it's immersive, discover new, established, we're here for you. One more question I want to ask you, and I'm sure you get asked this all the time, and I certainly have my favorites.
Oh boy.
But
this is so hard. I know what's coming.
Well, you're in the industry. You've got to have, and it can't be expected. You've got to give me something. So what's your favorite music video?
Okay. So as I sit here in Cannes, I have visuals of I'm on a boat. It is greatly comedic. It is so spot on of where I am in this moment. But I would have to say one of my absolute all-time favorites is George Michael, Freedom.
Freedom, okay. It's one of the greats.
All right, what about you?
Well, I have the nostalgic, obvious ones, right? But just being a creative and a filmmaker and art director, there's a few more. These are probably be a little more unexpected. So, Woodkid, who is a French cinematographer, filmmaker, musician, he's done 2 albums. The first one was 2013. There's an album called Iron, and the single of Iron called Iron is just unbelievable. Just black and white, big visuals, just absolutely beautifully choreographed. Piece of film. So if you don't know Woodkid, go check out Woodkid. I would say the other one that I love, I'm a huge Faithless fan. Big fan of Maxi Jazz, who unfortunately we lost last year. But We Come One is another one of my all-time favorites.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Colin. This has been delightful.
Thank you. Watch more music.
Watch more music, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.